Hey there, it's Teresa here, and welcome to another episode of Conversations from My Couch. Hi, I'm Teresa Youngkin. I am a leadership coach and consultant, and you can find me here every Wednesday having a conversation from my couch about all things leadership. So during the summer series, we've talked about a lot of different things like fun and what do you do to keep your team engaged. Well, as the summer starts to wind down, Yep, we're in August. You can start getting ready to create an environment of engagement for your team when all the vacations are done and everyone settles back into the rhythm of work. So, we can really get bogged down in all of the details in the business of work that we forget one important thing, and that's called the Pareto Principle. And the Pareto Principle basically states that your most productive 20% of the day is produced by 80% of your it produces 80% of your work. It's the old 80-20 rule. We hear that all the time, right? 20% of people do 80% of the work. It's the same when it comes to planning, engaging your team, and having them accomplish the goals that they've set out to do. So using this principle enables your team to be productive and it helps them to get better results from the least amount of effort. And when I say least amount of effort, I don't mean being lazy or not doing what they're supposed to do. It's for them to all to be working, and we use this term in healthcare all the time, is to have them working at the top of their licenses. So imagine, what could your team do if they had time to innovate or to work on new projects? Applying the Pareto principle to finding improvements and efficiencies is one way to do that. So, how do you implement this in the real world? Well, number one, have your team consider every aspect of their workflow and don't leave anything out, right? There are no wrong answers. You can't say that, oh, that's not important work. We don't know. It's the people who are doing the work. Trust your team to provide you with the answers that you need. Have your team prioritize the 10 best ideas on the list and use these parameters to prioritize them out. Number one, focus on the processes that would have the biggest impact on their productivity and their output. Again, they may have better ideas or different ideas than you have as a leader. Define what success means. A completed task doesn't necessarily mean that something is done, right? So define done, define success. Rank those 10 items from the easiest to the most difficult to accomplish. Get your team to agree which to do first. It's so important to make sure that your team is involved in this planning and in this prioritization. Number three, implement one idea at a time and make your way down the list. Think about doing things that will give them small wins at first. And we've talked about this over and over again, right? A small win can encourage your team to experiment, try new ideas, and to pivot if they need to. Encourage them to experiment, right? Failure is not bad. Failure means that you've learned something that you can either apply or that you can use that experience to find maybe new ideas to solve the problem or to make them more efficient. Never discount pivoting, right? You don't have to hold on to it until the whole idea is dead. You're going down with the ship. Don't do that. Make the time and make the opportunity and the space for your team to pivot if they need to pivot. And finally, whether it's learning something new or you're trying to find an efficiency for your team in their workflow, don't forget about the Pareto principle. If you can work on that 20% that's going to yield you the most, that 80%, that's what you want to do. So if you want to learn more about how you can better to engage your team, let's talk. All right, then. I will catch you guys here on the flip side next week, next Wednesday, where we will again be having another conversation from the couch about all things leadership. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.